Have you ever felt intimidated to cook restaurant quality food at home? Have you ever felt like, this is restaurant food and what I make is home food? Did you ever make that distinction in your head? I did. And there are a number of reasons why that was the case. Growing up, when my mom would try to make these restaurant quality dishes that we loved at our favorite restaurants, it would never turn out the way we remember, the way we wanted it to taste, and it would just not be the same. So you would always kind of think that, let's say I'm talking about a great burger. So back then, if a burger was made at home, well, it would automatically classify as a home style burger, and for a real burger you would want to go to a restaurant, and you can't really do much about it because you just always felt that, well, how do I even get this to taste the same and to be the same at home, because it's just so hard. Like, I'm doing everything I can, I put in all these hours, I put in all this work, why is it not turning out the same? And I feel like you do develop a minor sense of imposter syndrome where you feel like, well, we should leave the restaurant quality food for the professional chefs, and you just don't feel comfortable trying to make it by yourself because you just know in your head that it's just not going to be the same. So why even try? Am I even doing it right? Like, you just doubt yourself so much that you basically give up. And that's what I'm here to talk about. I want to make it clear that restaurant cooking and home cooking is really similar. All you need to do is remove that barrier from your mind and just try things to really realize how easy it can actually be. And for me, that barrier was broken the moment I made my first butter chicken. That was actually my first attempt at a restaurant quality dish, and that was all thanks to this Indian restaurant here in Canada that really disappointed me and really did not fulfill my craving when I was homesick. I talk more about such restaurants in the video linked over here, so you can check that out if you like. But basically what it boils down to is, when I attempted to make this recipe, it was actually by world famous Indian chef Sanjeev Kapoor. That was my first iteration of the butter chicken. It just opened my eyes, because not only was it better than the restaurant I tried the butter chicken at, but it was just mind-blowing. Like, I just felt this superpowers in my arms, in my hands, that I created this. I created this from scratch, from canned tomatoes, ginger garlic, and just ingredients I literally went down the store to get this restaurant quality meal prepared. And I feel like a lot of people need that push, need that barrier to be broken, to really realize that you can easily make these things at home, and you don't have to rely on restaurants for fulfilling your cravings. Now, in no means is this bashing restaurants. As I said before in many other videos, I love going to restaurants and it's a lot of fun. But obviously, you cannot do that every day. So don't feel like you have to settle for food that's not as good, because it's all under your control. You can do what you want to do. And how to get started? Well, it all boils down to the basics. So first things first, don't feel like because you're not a professional chef that you can't do the same things that they can. You're not a professional chef and you don't have to be. And you don't need to be, because the restaurant setting, when you're cooking and prepping, is so different than home cooking. Just take a simple skill like chopping onions, for instance. In restaurants, you have limited amount of time to get all your prep done, get all your sauces, all your mise en place in place to be ready for service. And on top of that, you have to do enough prep to serve hundreds of people, if not more. Now that's a lot of work. The most you'll be doing at home is preparing a dinner for a dozen or so people, and in most cases, 3 or 4. So that automatically scales down the difficulty. One of the key skills of a professional chef is to deliver consistent quality, great food to hundreds of customers again and again and again. You have to do it only once or maybe 4 times to like 4 people. And that's so much easier. I hope you feel better already, but let me go on. So take a simple skill like chopping onions, for instance. Yeah, I can chop onions really quickly. I can slice an onion really thin in less than a minute, but why do I have to? I'm not chopping hundreds of onions to prepare for a sauce or something. I'm preparing one onion, maybe even half an onion for a simple curry, and that's all it is. So I can just take my sweet time and do it right. So I'm sure a lot of you watch a lot of other food channels and lots of chefs that are probably better than me, and you may get demotivated that, oh, I can't chop onions that quick. I don't know if I have the skills to prepare that dish as well as he can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't know the last time I had to chop onions that quick to get my food ready. Usually I just take my sweet time while watching some TV because I'm not a professional chef anymore. I'm not. I was never a chef anyways. I was a professional cook. So I really appreciate the comments on Instagram when you guys approach me and ask me to be like a mentor so they can learn under me. But I guess what it is since I don't have that barrier that separates restaurant quality cooking from home quality, I just make what I like, what I want to make, and I just make it look nice, I make it pretty, and I just don't care that it's a restaurant quality dish. I just make it. I just make it. I look at a picture and I make it. I make it look like that. I make it look better if I have to. And that's what that power can do once you don't have that barrier in your head anymore. It's all in your head, right? I don't want to sound cliche, but you are what you think you are in your head. Just do what you want to do and you'll get where you want to be. Simple. So the next time you hold a knife, pretend you're a professional chef and chop away. Grab your wooden spoon and cook away, and cook like a professional chef, because the only one who's judging you is yourself, and you cannot lie to yourself. Also, other things that might intimidate you is if you are a home cook and you want to go deeper in the world of culinary arts, are all these fancy equipments and tools that are marketed to you. I remember when I was looking for my first knife, you see these big sales on all these fancy knife blocks with like a dozen knives, a bunch of steak knives, and all these other fancy things, a whole cooking set. You really don't need any of that if you want to be a good cook. I did not have any of that when I first started learning. I just had a cheap knife from Target and some old pans, and you just use what you have and make the most out of it. Personally, all you need to start cooking like a professional chef are 3 things. A nice, heavy chef's knife. So don't get it online. Go to a store and try to hold the knife and then judge what feels good to you. I can link my knife if you want in the description box, but you pick what works best for you. So a chef's knife, a paring knife, which is great for much smaller tasks like peeling an onion or peeling a garlic or coring a tomato. And the last thing is a sharpening steel. And that's just to keep that knife nice and sharp, because the sharper the knife is, the safer it is. And in terms of cooking equipment, all you need are 3 tools essentially. You need a nice non-stick pan, a stainless steel pan, and a pot. And you'll be good to go. You can use these few tools to really make anything you want. After all, it's the skill and the pursuit for excellence that matters, and not the tools. You can give somebody all the fanciest tools, the best Demeyer cookware, the best Henkel knives, and if they don't have the motivation, if they don't know how to cook, and if they don't have the urge to learn how to cook, all the food they're going to produce are going to be garbage compared to somebody who has the perseverance and who has the drive to learn how to cook and really better themselves, and they can create wonders with an old oven or a rusty old pan or a dull knife. They can make anything with it if they have those tools. So in essence, to get started, All you need is to remove that barrier and just start cooking with what you have. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video, I know it's getting kind of long, is recipe books. Recipe books are great, but I feel like they're severely underused. When was the last time you made every single recipe front to back from a book? It's a lot of fun. You should try it. Make it a challenge for yourself. And you know what? Even if a dish does not turn out right, you're going to learn something, because only somebody who has the proper palate, who knows the proper techniques, and who knows what a dish should have been like can determine that something is off with that dish. And why don't you challenge yourself to improve that dish to what you prefer, to what your palate enjoys? And guess what? You've automatically learned something and you're a better chef already. Also, there are a ton of different techniques in all these books. Take pasta sauce, for example. There are literally hundreds of types of sauces. And I'm sure you've only tried the top 3 maybe: Alfredo, pesto, marinara, the most common ones. Why don't you try something new this time? If you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed a few months back I really got into a loop of making Napolitana style pizzas. And I made that, I think, every week, and I still have some dough in my freezer for the next time I decide to start cooking Napolitana style pizzas. And this has quickly become my favorite pizza of all time, by the way. And I only found this because I was literally going front to back on my pizza recipe book. It's a great book and I've learned so much from it. And I would have never tried it because I like a nice beefy cheesy pizza, and thought of a thin crust style pizza like a Napolitana did not appeal to me until I'm like, okay, fine. I'm at this page, it's Napolitana, let's give it a shot. And guess what? My life changed after that. So basically, all I'm trying to incite in you is go ahead, go out there and try things. Try new things and just remove that barrier. You don't have to have it and you're just doing it to yourself. Go make what you want to make. You love naan? Go make your own naan. Just try it. You may need some special equipment for some of these dishes. Just because we don't have the same professional equipment in our home kitchens, but there's always a way. There is always a way. And you need to know that in your head. If you look at something, you should be able to tell yourself that, I can make that, or I want to make that, and then just try it. And then don't get scared. Don't be scared of food. It's just food, right? You're gonna eat it anyways. Even if your dish doesn't turn out perfect, I'm sure it's still gonna be good. And if it wasn't, then you'll know what to do next time. So just keep going, right? I hope I have motivated at least 1 out of 100 viewers for this video, if I even get there. But the point is, I'm trying to get you excited about cooking at home, and I want you to remove all barriers. Just make what you want to make. I think I've said that for the 10th time now, so I think I'm done now. I'm gonna head out and make some great food for the day, and I hope you do the same, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. By the way, if you want some inspiration on what to cook, you can always go on my website. It's called cookingwithanadi.com, and you can check out some of my favorite recipes on there. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye guys.